Did you know that a simple smile can mean more than you think in the Philippines? Welcome to the latest video on Eagle Discovery. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Filipino culture by exploring 10 things you absolutely should not asterisk do when visiting this incredible country. We'll also tackle a question many travelers ask. Is the Philippines a safe destination? From understanding local customs to navigating potential risks, we've got you covered. Watch the entire video to learn more, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep up with exciting adventures from around the world on Eagle Discovery. 1. Don't feel offended if people stare or laugh at you. Filipinos have a unique culture where curiosity and hospitality are always at the forefront. When you walk through small streets or neighborhoods, especially in rural areas or places with few international tourists, locals might stare or laugh in a harmless, carefree way. This action doesn't carry any negative connotations. Rather, it's an expression of curiosity and admiration. They may not have encountered many international visitors before, and your presence piques their interest. Additionally, Filipinos are very good at lightening the mood with laughter. For example, if you try to pronounce a Filipino word and get it wrong, they might laugh, but not to mock you. Rather to help you feel more at ease. They'll be delighted to see you making an effort to blend in and learn about their culture. So, embrace those smiles as part of the experience and don't feel offended. 2. Don't wear shoes inside the house. Removing your shoes before entering a home is not just a common cultural practice in the Philippines, it's also an important gesture of respect and hygiene. Filipinos are meticulous about keeping their homes clean. This is not just a cultural rule, but also a habit deeply ingrained in their daily lives. When you step into a Filipino home, you'll often find the floors spotless, and you'll be asked to remove your shoes to avoid bringing in dirt from outside. In some homes, you'll be provided with indoor slippers, a small but meaningful gesture in maintaining cleanliness and showing respect for the host. This practice is not limited to homes, but also applies to some temples or sacred areas. Maintaining cleanliness is not just the homeowner's responsibility, but that of all who enter. This reflects the high level of mutual respect and community consciousness in Filipino culture. 3. Don't drive in Manila unless necessary. Manila, the capital of the Philippines, is notorious for its complex and congested traffic. The city is known for its narrow streets, heavy traffic, and sometimes a lack of adherence to traffic rules. Driving in Manila can be a major challenge for tourists, especially those unfamiliar with the local driving culture. Another characteristic of Manila traffic is the presence of jeepneys, a unique form of public transportation in the Philippines. These jeepneys can stop suddenly to pick up or drop off passengers, creating unexpected situations for drivers. Additionally, large buses often dominate the roads, swerving between lanes and expecting smaller vehicles to give way. Therefore, if you don't absolutely need to drive in Manila, consider using public transportation services like Grab or taxis. These services not only help you travel safely, but also spare you the unnecessary stress of dealing with complex traffic conditions. 4. Don't be surprised if some items are more expensive than expected. While the Philippines is often known as a country with a lower cost of living compared to developed nations like the US or Europe, you may be surprised to find that some items are more expensive than anticipated. This is especially true for imported goods such as cars, electronics, and international brand products. Several factors influence prices in the Philippines, including high import taxes and transportation costs. For example, cars in the Philippines are generally more expensive than in many other countries due to high tariffs on imported vehicles. Similarly, electronics like smartphones and computers tend to have higher prices due to import costs and taxes. This can be surprising for tourists from countries where these items are cheaper. However, don't let this discourage you. You can still find many reasonably priced items, especially local products and handicrafts. Understanding these price differences will help you be better prepared and avoid feeling overcharged when shopping. 5. Don't arrive on time for casual gatherings. The concept of Filipino time is something that can be both intriguing and frustrating for foreigners. Filipino time doesn't refer to a fixed schedule, but rather a flexible approach to timekeeping, especially for casual or informal gatherings. This means that if you're invited to a party at 7 p.m., you can expect the event to actually start around 7:30 or even 8 p.m. This flexibility stems from Filipino social culture, where personal relationships take precedence. Filipinos often don't want to make others feel rushed or pressured to adhere strictly to a schedule, so events tend to start more leisurely. However, this doesn't mean they don't respect time. For important meetings or formal events, Filipinos do arrive on time and maintain professionalism. To avoid cultural shock when experiencing Filipino time, try to be flexible and not overly concerned with the clock. Enjoy the waiting time by chatting with locals or savoring a cup of coffee. This will help you blend in better and feel more comfortable in the social environment. 6. Don't lose your temper in frustrating situations. A prominent feature of Filipino culture is the avoidance of confrontation and indirect communication. Filipinos generally don't want to hurt others' feelings or create conflict, so they tend to speak in a roundabout way instead of directly addressing an issue. This can be frustrating for those who are used to direct and straightforward communication. For example, if you invite someone to an event and they say, "We'll see," or "I'll try to come," this might mean they are unsure about attending but don't want to disappoint you by refusing outright. For many foreigners, this can lead to misunderstandings and a sense of disconnect in communication. To adapt to this, it's important to learn to read between the lines and understand that indirect communication is the Filipino way of showing respect and politeness. When faced with frustrating situations, try to remain calm and find a gentle way to resolve the issue. Maintaining a positive and friendly attitude will help you connect with locals more easily and have a more enjoyable travel experience. 7. Don't expect everyone to speak fluent English. Although English is the second language and widely taught in the Philippines, not everyone speaks it fluently, especially in rural areas and regions with less exposure to foreigners. While in major cities like Manila or Cebu, you can easily find people who speak fluent English. In other areas, you might encounter individuals who struggle with communication. However, this doesn't mean you'll have a hard time traveling here. Filipinos are known for their hospitality and willingness to help. Even if they don't speak English well, they will do their best to communicate with you, using gestures or finding someone else to assist. It's important to be patient and try to understand them. Learning a few basic Tagalog phrases, the main language of the Philippines, can also be a great way to show respect and effort in blending in. An interesting point is that while English is widely used in education and business, the primary language in homes and communities remains the local dialects. The Philippines has over 170 languages and dialects, making the country rich in cultural and linguistic diversity. So embrace this diversity and see it as part of your unique travel experience. 8. Don't forget to check the weather before traveling. The Philippines has a tropical climate with two main seasons, the wet and dry seasons. However, due to its geographical makeup as a large archipelago, the weather can vary significantly across regions. A common mistake travelers make is assuming that the entire Philippines shares the same weather, but this is far from the truth. For example, while Manila might be dry and sunny in December, places like Siargao or Sagada could experience prolonged rain. Understanding the weather before planning your trip is crucial. Some areas like Batanes and Ifugao can be heavily affected by typhoons during the wet season, while beaches like Boracay and Palawan are at their best during the dry season from December to May. If you don't check the weather, you might encounter unexpected surprises, such as floods, road closures, or canceled outdoor activities. Also, keep in mind that the Philippines' tropical climate means weather can change throughout the day. A sunny morning could turn into a rainy afternoon, followed by a clear evening. So when traveling here, always carry an umbrella or raincoat and stay updated with reliable weather information to ensure a safe and enjoyable trip. 9. Don't participate in political protests. The Philippines has a complex and tumultuous political history. While citizens have the right to free speech and protest, the country's laws are very strict regarding foreign involvement. Participating in political protests or large gatherings can be seen as interference in the nation's internal affairs, and this could lead to deportation or being blacklisted. Protests in the Philippines can sometimes turn violent, and foreigners might inadvertently find themselves in dangerous situations. So, the best advice is to stay away from protests or any political activities while traveling here. Instead, focus on exploring and learning about Filipino culture, history, and people in a safe and peaceful manner. Additionally, always stay in contact with your embassy or consulate when in the Philippines to stay informed about security and political updates. This will help you make the right decisions and keep yourself safe throughout your trip. 10. Don't be surprised by differences in infrastructure and public services. The Philippines is a developing country, and this is evident in its infrastructure and public services. You might notice significant differences in transportation, sanitation, and public services compared to more developed countries. Roads in some areas may not be well maintained, public transportation systems may not be as modern or convenient, and services like electricity and water may be inconsistent. However, it's important to view these challenges as part of the travel experience. Instead of feeling disappointed, try to understand that every place in the world has its own characteristics and challenges. The Philippines may not have the modern infrastructure you expect, but in return, you'll experience the richness of culture, stunning natural landscapes, and the warm hospitality of the local people. Another interesting aspect is that while infrastructure in major cities like Manila or Cebu is improving, life in rural areas and remote islands remains rustic and untouched. This creates a unique and distinct experience, offering you encounters that are hard to find anywhere else. Is the Philippines a safe country? The Philippines is a paradise for travelers, with stunning beaches like Boracay and Palawan, where you can relax on white sands and swim in crystal-clear waters. The country's rich cultural heritage, influenced by Spanish, American, and Asian traditions, is reflected in its festivals, historical sites, and delicious cuisine. Filipinos are renowned for their warm hospitality, making you feel at home wherever you go. Adventure lovers can dive into vibrant marine life, climb majestic mountains, or explore unique natural wonders like the Chocolate Hills. Plus, with its affordable prices, the Philippines is an ideal destination for anyone looking to experience a mix of adventure, culture, and relaxation. However, in recent times, the Philippines has become known for frequent occurrences of theft, robbery, and general safety issues. Although there haven't been many reported incidents involving international tourists, you should still exercise caution when traveling and exploring the country. Some instances of violence and theft occasionally occur in remote areas on the southern island of Mindanao and in some major cities. Therefore, first-time visitors should remain vigilant about any issues to ensure a smoother trip. A common question people ask is whether this is a safe country. There is a study on the Peace Index of countries around the world, the Global Peace Index. In this list, the Philippines ranks 115th out of 163 countries. This index measures peace based on 22 qualitative and quantitative indicators, including domestic conflict, ongoing international conflict, safety and security, crime rates, and military activity. The Philippines is colored yellow, indicating that the country is relatively safe, ranking just below the green countries considered the most peaceful and secure. Although it doesn't rank highly, the political and peace situation in this archipelago isn't as bad as some might suggest. If you're concerned about safety in the Philippines, you might consider traveling with a tour group or working with reputable intermediaries. Thorough research about the country and service providers will help ensure you have the most memorable time in the Philippines. When you're ready to embark on your adventure in the Philippines, remember that a little knowledge goes a long way in making your trip both safe and memorable. By staying aware of local customs and keeping in mind the tips we've discussed, you'll be well equipped to enjoy everything this beautiful country has to offer. Have a fun and exciting journey in the Philippines.